What happens when the party is betrayed by one of the players?
An epic plot twist that leaves us all baffled.
Today on Tales from the Tabletop. This is a story that takes place at the very beginning of the campaign. Session 1. The party's first quest was given to them by the Council of Pregor.
Ogre is the main city of the campaign. It's the central hub of everything.
The campaign is called Back to Pregor.
Yeah.
Now, here's the quest. The council wants the orb. Now, the orb is an ancient magical artifact that is said to control an army of Warforged. If you don't know what a Warforged is, that's just like a ancient, robotic magical creature.
Now, why this army of Warforged were created? That's a tale for another time.
That's
but
a tale
rest
for
assured,
another time.
It is a really cool reason that came up in a later story.
Yes. Now, this orb, the council themselves hid it away. They locked it somewhere deep in a cave far away, overseas, in fact. They locked it away, but now they need to retrieve it again because some evil entity is looking for it. So they've contracted the party to go and find it. Make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. This is where Matthias comes in.
Yes, I'm of course playing my favorite character, Matthias Raimondo, known for his awesome mustache, sharp wit, and even sharper rapier.
Yeah. Now, your character is interested in this quest because the council originally sent another party to find the orb. And that party had Matthias' brother on it, who is now missing.
Matthias' brother, Sebastian, who actually taught Matthias how to use a sword, which is his main fighting thing now. He uses a rapier.
Yep. Sebastian also now kind of shunned by his family. He's a bit of an F-up.
Yeah.
Doesn't spend money well. Has gotten involved with the wrong people. Matthias, being the good little brother that he is, sets out to go find him. With the rest of the party, meeting up with your old friend Edward Mann, who's another character.
He's a psionic.
So you guys travel by airship.
I remember acquiring the airship, where I remember first coming upon it. It's like, we're flying in an airship? Hold on a minute. That's sick.
That's funny.
It's powered by these massive crystals.
Blue crystals.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I like to hear that you thought it was awesome.
Captain Talon, I think was his name?
Terran.
Captain Terran.
So you travel over a long stretch of sea in order to get to the land where this orb is being kept. You enter the cave, you go through a series of trials, you stealth by these large winged creatures, completely avoiding them, too afraid to fight them. Keep in mind, you guys are level 1 at this point. But eventually you get to the orb, and you take it. So the orb is with you now. Now along the way, you did also discover the body of Sebastian. Killed in action, trying to find this orb for the council, trying to make something of his life.
I did pick up his sword, and continue to use it for the rest of the campaign, actually. I actually ended up enchanting it to use it as one of my weapons.
So that was a somber moment, definitely.
Yeah.
But you had the orb, and you had to make your way back to the Council of Pregor. So you boarded the airship once more. So on the way, you were ambushed by a vampire, Leon Felder. Leon is the big bad of this first arc of the campaign.
And he's on another airship.
Yes. He leaps down from the airship onto yours. And at this point, the party isn't much of a match for him. So he takes them down. Imprisons them in his airship.
And we're separated in ourselves. There's two different cell blocks, and two of us are in one, two of us are in another.
Right, escape room style.
And Captain Terran is with us as well.
Right. So at this point, you learn a little bit more about who Leon Felder is. He is a vampire, and apparently he is this evil entity that the council was so worried of. For some reason, though, he seems to not be able to remember a lot. He doesn't know why he wants the orb, or what he wants to use it for, but for some reason, the orb is calling to him. He can sense its very location, even.
Now, do we have the orb at this point?
You have the orb.
Is it in a bag of holding somewhere?
I think it's on one of your people.
Okay.
So he's questioning you about Pregor, the council, and where you have the orb. I think he knows one of you has the orb because he can sense its presence. So he's trying to pull that intel out of you.
Okay. Okay.
What do you remember about that? About that sequence?
I don't remember much. I remember first meeting him, and it was very intimidating.
Really?
And yeah, because I'm pretty sure he bites. I think he bites Terran.
Oh, does he? I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, he bites Terran and has a monologue about how he needs sustenance.
Right.
And we're like, crap, man. So yeah, we were pretty
Cool.
scared of him after that. So we had to plan to escape the airship. Now, I had earlier found a scroll of Dimension Door.
Really?
That I'm going to use to help us escape this place.
It's always fun to give your players a scroll of something overpowered.
I didn't get it that long ago, but I'm like, all right, this seems like the perfect time to use it. Yeah, get out of this. We escape ourselves, so we're sneaking around very intensely. It's an intense stealth encounter. Eventually, we get to the top deck and all hell breaks loose. Fighting for our lives. Now, if I recall, the other airship that we took, they're tailing it along with them.
Yeah, it's like tethered.
So our goal is to break the tether and get to that ship. Edward Mann, my character's best friend, and Scion, the most intelligent member of the party. His job is to take control of our original airship to get us out.
Yes.
He's failing his roles.
No, I mean, he has no experience with an airship, so obviously he's not adding his proficiency bonus to those rolls. But he's trying every turn.
We successfully, all of us get onto that other airship. But it is looking dire. We're low hit points. We're trying to get away, but man cannot steer this thing. I'm not going to try. I got an 8 intelligence. And it's like an intelligence skill check. So man is trying. Eventually, Edward Mann rolls a nat 20.
Does he?
He rolls a nat 20 and is able to control the airship. He's trying it every turn in the initiative order. He rolls a nat 20 and he gets us out of there. And if I remember, we also damaged Leon Felder's ship.
Right,
we damaged his crystals.
The crystals.
The crystals that help it fly.
Right.
So that he can't catch us. We are out of there. We are leaving for our lives. We are scared. We're going to come back when we're way higher level to fight him.
You guys flew away, and now at this point, questions begin to arise about this orb.
We're trying to figure out what it does, why Leon wants it, and most importantly, what we should do with it.
Because here's the problem is, if the council hid it, why would they be sending you to go find it? And they just want you to bring it back to them? Wouldn't that be more power in their hands? So
we're starting to see some of the corruption of the council itself at this point.
Yeah. So you don't want to give it to the council. Obviously, you can't give it to Leon Felder, the big bad. So ultimately, what you decide to do is put the orb in a bag of holding.
Now, a bag of holding, you have to think about pulling it out.
Yeah.
You have to know it's in there to get it out of the bag of holding.
And then I think you also put it in a chest.
You put it in a chest that is like magically sealed.
And then you wanted to throw it overboard into the deep ocean below.
Yeah.
In theory, once a bag of holding rips, its contents are scattered across the multiverse. So in theory, if it ripped, the orb would be sent to some random dimension, hopefully that Leon couldn't get to. So the hope of doing this is because he can sense the orb that he wouldn't be able to now that it's in the ocean and it's in a bag of holding and potentially in another multiverse.
Now our characters are planning this out.
Yeah.
This very specific plan. In real life, we spent like a solid, like maybe 2 hours deciding what to do.
Was it 2 hours?
It was like 2 hours.
Frick. So ultimately you decide to throw it over. And you do. You toss the chest overboard. But as it's flying down, your best friend, Edward Mann, casts Mage Hand to catch it before it hits the ocean. You guys are so high up, you wouldn't really be able to hear the sploosh anyways. So
now, he is telling you he's doing this in like messages that he's written
secretly,
for you.
Right.
I had no idea. None of the party had any idea.
I forgot. I didn't realize
I did not know at all.
So he catches it. You know, I'm thinking, oh, this is getting juicy now. Now this is getting interesting.
I'm thinking, that was a good plan. I'm glad we threw it overboard.
Eventually, you guys dock the airship at a place called Hothingfire with the plan to go back to Pregor and investigate the council. The ship, you hire a crew, people to work on it. You get it fully decked out. People, a captain, you know, all kinds of people.
Is Taryn with us at this point?
Taryn is not with you.
Okay.
He's been bit. He's still with Leon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you guys go to Pregor. Edward Mann, passes me a note. I leave the orb on the ship. So I'm thinking, Leon can sense the orb. He knows where it is. If it's just going to stay there alone, the party's not even there. What other options do I have? My hands are tied at this point. So you guys go to Pregor, do whatever you're doing. You come back to find your ship. And it's a bloodbath. Your entire newly hired crew slaughtered.
This was a big plot twist for us. We
Really?
were like, holy crap.
Like, what the frick happened? Man searches for the orb. That's what he immediately does. Tries to find the orb. Of course, it's nowhere to be seen.
I remember Man coming clean to us. And even me, who is his best friend, loses a lot of trust for Edward Mann. There's trust lost between the two of us that we're going to have to rebuild for the rest of this arc. And we thought we made a big mistake, all because of Edward Mann. Now, we're not mad at each other out of character.
Obviously, yeah.
In character, this is all in character.
Yeah.
It was a crazy moment. And now we know Leon has the orb, and we gotta stop him.
That's all I got.
For a future story, we'll have to tell the conclusion of this one.
Yeah.
About what the conclusion to Leon's story was.
Yep. Cool.
Tune in for that.
If you enjoyed this video, just go ahead and subscribe for more like it to come soon.
And if you want to see us actually play an RPG, check out our show Table for Two, where we play a game called Ironsworn. It's a lot of fun. Check it out.